My word, my word, my word. Come on. It says excellent connection. Oh, good. Now I see myself. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry for the delay. This is my first time using YouTube's direct streaming function, so I wasn't quite sure how to get things to work, but now it looks like everything is working fine. So, all right. Cool. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Irene, aka Rini Draws. This is streaming on my YouTube channel, also Rini Draws. And today I just thought I would share some coloring process for a cover that I'm doing for my original comic Fiendish, which is what you see on my screen right now. So apologies for delay. I promise I will get better. I will get better at this streaming thing. Hi, Jerry Orda, welcome. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. I swear, my butt was in my seat at like 8:28. I was like, I'm ready. I got like the go live stream ready on YouTube, but then it just like, oh, like your stream key was wrong, and like I had to go to open broadcasting software and OBS Studio, the streaming software that I use, and like connect everything, and then it was lagging. Anyways, all right. Let's get started. So before we get to the art stuff, I would like to thank my patrons first. So I always mention my patrons that pledge more than $5 and up on Patreon and directly support me creating my original comics. So let me do my patron shoutouts right now. Thank you to Joe Cassavant, Derek, Scooby, Canyon, an old friend of mine. Thank you so much for your support. Jason Doring, Joshua Kazakavicius, Jerry Orda, Non-Branded White Socks, and Dennis Sarrazin. Thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate all the support. So, also, by the way, I've been wanting to do a patron stream, but I haven't been able to figure out how to get like Hangouts to work, because I want to get multiple people on my channel and, you know, have everyone on YouTube chat about comics and stuff. I want to do that for my patrons, but I promise I'm trying to figure that out, and when I do, I'm going to invite all of you on. Okay, so enough of wasting everybody's time. Let's get started with the art. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, come on. Are you lagging? Let me close some other things. There we go. Yeah, I have kind of an old computer. This thing is, well, I'm working on a Cintiq Companion, and it's a pretty good computer. By the way, let me know if my audio or anything is kind of off, by the way, and I'll adjust it. So I'm keeping an eye on the chat on my second screen. So, but my computer's like 6 years old. It's a first generation Cintiq Companion. It's amazing this thing, it works as well as it does. But yeah, so I have to like limit the workload I put onto it. So I close like everything except for like Photoshop and my streaming stuff. So okay. So let me zoom out first so everybody can see this cover. Come on. Don't give me no lag now. Yeah. So there is, as I think I mentioned, this is my second pass at the issue 1 cover. I thought the first one I did, which was just my main protagonist, more or less, was just this guy that's holding the axe over here. It was a little static. He was just standing on the cover, so I thought something more action-y would suit the story more. So this is my second pass at it. I'm pretty happy with it, and a lot of people seem to like this one. This concept a little more. So yeah, the only thing though is it's really, really complicated, because as you can see, the monsters that I'm designing for this comic are super detailed because I have no self-control. Yep, I have no self-control. What is controlling detail? I don't know. So it's taking me absolutely forever. But this is just what happens when you're really super, super excited about a project. Which I am. I'm so excited about Fiendish and getting this story out to everybody. Oh, okay, yeah. It's okay. I'm talking. I see Jerry said he would be right back. Not going anywhere. And by the way, if anybody has any questions or comments or questions regarding art or anything about the comic or anything else, if you just want to chat about comics and stuff, just post it in the chat on YouTube. I'm keeping an eye on it, and I will answer any questions that you have. So I suppose for anybody that's new to my channel or to my comic, who hasn't seen me, who hasn't been following me on my other social media platforms, because if you have, you probably have seen me yapping on about this comic, because I've been talking about it nonstop for like the last 3 months. This is for my original comic, Fiendish. It is a high fantasy concept. It's a high fantasy comic that is set in a completely original world. It's a long form story, and it's I feel like the length that I have it planned for is a little ridiculous. Like, everybody tells you to not go for something that's too long for your... Technically, I mean, it's not really my first comic. I've been doing professional comics for a few years, and I've done like one-shots and, short comics before, but this is like my first, I guess, book that I'm trying to get properly published, instead of just like a self-published mini-comic sort of thing. And everyone tells you don't go too epic and don't go too crazy, but man, this is the kind of story I want to tell. I want to tell something that is long and really in-depth and really crazy, and just really, really expansive. That's the kind of stuff I'm interested in, because I love world building. So that is basically what Fiendish is going to be, and that's what I'm getting myself into. And I would say the concept going in is, I always tell people, it's set in a world that I built the entire world. I have like a whole world map. I actually have been designing a constructed language for it and everything, because I'm insane. But the basic tone and feeling that I suppose I would tell readers for them to gauge whether or not this comic is for them is, it's like Vikings fighting monsters, which, as you can see, is this cover. That will be your first impression of this comic, and it will look good. It will be there will be a lot of action. There will be lots of fantasy monsters, and it will be the first arc. Well, most of the story, it's a mystery story. So especially the first arc, it's very heavy on the mystery. It's adventure, and it's about a character, several characters, basically going on a journey to track down and find the truth behind some mysterious monsters that have been showing up in their world and just in the wild, and that have killed their loved ones. And it's about a small band of really how do I say, kind of a little loner type of characters, like people that, and I tend to write like ranger and roguey type of characters, but that's sort of the feel that I've been going for the main cast. So the first arc is just about these characters like going on a trek to like the epicenter. The first arc is called Epicenter, and it's about the characters going to the origin of this monster infestation and fighting their way to the origin point and to the core of this mysterious, like, sudden overrunning of these weird demonic beings, and figuring out what happened. And I won't spoil anything, of course, but at the end of the first arc, they figure out that the origin of these monsters is tied to the past of the main character, Casimir. And these monsters were actually summoned by somebody for a greater purpose, and I will leave it at that. So. But yeah. Basically, I just want an excuse to draw, fantasy creatures and cool fights. That's all. I just want to draw bloody things. Yep. So if that concept sounds like it's something you'd be interested in, give me a follow. I'm Rini Draws everywhere. I don't have a proper website for this comic yet, which I probably should, but like I've been spending all my time just writing and drawing it. I don't have time to design a website for it. But eventually I will hire someone to make a website for Fiendish, probably, because I just don't have that much time. Like, you go into a project like this saying that you're going to do everything yourself, you're not going to. It's impossible. There's so much work to do, just like revising writing and drawing and designing things, and you have to design a world because it's a fantasy story that has a huge scope, and yeah, I'm not doing everything myself. I'm not even going to do most of the covers. I mean, colors myself. I'm doing the covers, but I hired a colorist to most of the comic will be in black and white, but I want to have some colored prologue pages or a few color pages in every chapter, kind of like how manga does it, how manga handles color pages. But yeah, I hired a friend who's a really good colorist to do some color work for me, and I'm thinking of hiring on some other people when I actually get the funds and I'm not poor. So, oh, hi Daniel Martinez. Daniel Martinez is, first time watching you coloring live. Oh, you watched a landscape tutorial before. Very good stuff. I know you for Gwenpool, but you draw some really cool monsters. Really good monsters. Thank you so much, Daniel. Yeah, that landscape tutorial I was pretty proud of that, and I'm glad you liked it. I would like to do more tutorial videos, but the thing is, they take a lot of time. I really want to do some more art tutorials, and I've been thinking of doing just videos on recommending good writing books, reviewing classic manga that are really good, because if you follow me, you know that I'm really into manga. I grew up in Asia, so I love American comics and Western comics. I'm also really into manga. So anyways, I've been wanting to do a lot of other videos, but I just don't have the time to do anything other than just art streams. But I'm really glad you like that tutorial. I'd like to do more. Especially because I love doing environments. So, yeah, Gwenpool was forever ago. Man, it was really sad that they canceled that comic. I really enjoyed working on it. Though, yeah, you know, all good things must come to an end. It's inevitable. All good things must end. But I genuinely like working on it. I'm not saying that just because I'm obligated to, because, you know, I was contracted to do work for it. No, I really did like that book a lot. I thought Chris Hastings' writing was really, really good. And of course, I adore just being able to work with Gurihiru. Man, they're so awesome. But the book got canceled, and, you know, that's pretty sad. But I don't know, maybe they'll bring Gwenpool back sometime. I think it's just when you have a character that has such a new concept, because she is an original character. She has nothing to do with, like, her name's Gwenpool, but she has nothing to do with Gwen Stacy or Deadpool, by the way, if you don't know anything about the comic. And she's actually pretty cool, and her original, or her solo series is actually pretty well written. It's very interesting. But yeah, when you have a character that kind of doesn't depend on any other previously established characters, even if it is, you know, a Marvel property, like, I mean, Gwenpool is owned by Marvel, it's, you know, it's kind of hard to sell the book and, like, keep the sales up, I guess. So it's a pity, but hopefully they bring her back. Yeah, it happens. Hi, Jerry, welcome back. Can't talk bad about Marvel. Disney is always listening. I do feel like that sometimes, you know? I do feel like that sometimes, and by sometimes I mean a lot of times. But no, I mean, if I have thoughts about something, I will say it. I'm not really one to, like, stay, you know, like, not be upfront about what I really think. It's just, you gotta be professional. You do have to word things in a polite manner. You have to stay professional, you know, and be polite and everything. But yeah, no, I'm not. I wouldn't just straight up lie and say that I enjoy working on something when I didn't. I mean, it really is too bad that I really enjoyed working on Gwenpool and Silk for Marvel. And it's too bad that both of those books got canceled, because I think, Most of the stuff that I've gotten from them, I still do some work for Marvel here and there, but most of the stuff I've gotten since then are, they're kind of books for a younger audience, stuff like Marvel Rising, and recently I've been doing Marvel Superhero Adventures, and it's not really my style? How do I say this? It's not really my style. Like, I mean, I'll do the work, and I can do the work. I'm not going to turn down money. You know, you gotta, like I said, you gotta be professional, but seriously, my style is what you see me drawing now. This is my natural style. It's fantasy, it's detail, and I like doing environments and, you know, big, grand, detailed scenes with monsters and fights and like really cool designs, and but I don't know, I don't really get a lot of work doing that. It's a little weird. Maybe it would help if I actually asked. Maybe it's not like I really asked for probably books that are a little more action oriented or that have some more detail. I think it's easy for people to assume, oh, like she can do more cartoony books, so let's just give her more of that. And I understand that, but honestly, it's not my normal style. Like, my normal style is, I don't know, I'm very sane and influenced, so I naturally don't draw very cartoony. I have to kind of force it, which I can do it, because I've learned to, you know, when you go to art school and when you want to, you know, do art professionally, you have to learn to emulate different styles and be able to stick to a style guide and everything, especially because I minored in animation, and in animation you definitely have to learn how to kind of adjust your style to be able to work on different franchises. But yeah, I would still prefer to work on stuff that's closer to my natural style. So that's part of the reason I decided to do my own comic. Besides from, I just came up with this idea and I started obsessively writing this story and building this world for Fiendish, and I got super into it, and I just want to do it. But besides from that, you know, yeah, I just feel like I really haven't had any chances to do what I really wanted to do, like the kind of story and style that I really wanted to tackle. Yeah, Danielle, Gwenpool was a lot of fun. I mean, the way Chris ended it was so awesome. I thought it was a really touching ending, and we had a decent amount of warning, so it wasn't just like, oh, it's cut off right now, but still, you know, I hope they pick it up again, because, I mean, a lot of things keep on getting rebooted, and, you know, they get new number ones and picked up again after being canceled. I don't see why not. I think it would sell pretty well. Like, there's so many people that still message me on Instagram and YouTube and you know, Twitter, and there's a pretty big fan base for Gwenpool. I feel like it's just grown since the book got canceled. It probably just didn't do well at first because it was a new character, so it's not going to do as well as like Spider-Man, you know? Of course not. Oh, did CB say there were plans for a comeback? That's cool. Yeah. Huh. I would love to do a variant cover for Gwenpool. I do interiors too. I will do anything. Hey, Marvel, I will do more work for Gwenpool if you want to bring her back. Hire me. It's much closer to, I don't know, style I normally do, and also I really like her. I genuinely adore Gwenpool. She's awesome. But yeah, hire me. Write a story with a lot of backgrounds and a lot of action, and also cute things. I can also do cute things, but yeah, I don't have high demands. I don't ask for much. I am here at your service. Jerry says they're always listening. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if would people at Marvel be listening to one of their backup artists with a tiny YouTube channel. Probably not, because I mean, it's not like I'm anywhere near a notable artist, but But you know, you never know. It's just smart to be professional and to be nice. And yeah, I mean, I am connected to a lot of just other artists and editors and like people in the industry. It just kind of happens when, I mean, I think I pretty much only know comics and animation people at this point. I don't, like, when I talk to people that don't do comics or animation in real life, I feel like I'm, like, not speaking the same language. It's a problem. Like, I don't know how to talk to normal people. But it's, you know, it's smart to be nice and professional. Yep. You assume they chip anyone that once worked for Marvel. Oh my gosh. Wouldn't that be funny? Maybe. So that's what they did when I met up, when I went to the Marvel party at New York Comic Con. They secretly chipped everybody. Oh, that would be hilarious. I don't think they do that. But they're owned by Disney. Disney is a little sinister. You never know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't murder me, Disney. Oh my gosh. Seriously though, Disney is just owning everything. Didn't they just acquired Fox, right? It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy, I gotta say. I mean, I see the benefits of, you know, what Disney does, but also, they really are just owning everything. It's pretty insane. Just this giant entertainment company. Sorry, I'm so good at this, you guys. I'm reading the comments and I'm just like, this is dead air. No, Daniel Martinez says, I know you're talking while working, but I'm following what you're doing and finally understand how shading is done. First a flat color, then the outline of the brush and multiply, exclude, burn on top. Yeah, so I guess I should talk about what I'm doing. So basically, here, I actually just showed my file to another comic artist friend and they're just appalled at how many layers I have. Behold, look at me scrolling down my layers on the side. And I mean, these aren't even all my layers. I have everything. If I uncollapse everything, is there a way to count how many layers you have in a Photoshop file? Because I think this is like at least 200 layers. But yeah, that's kind of just how I work. And it's not as insane as it looks because it's very organized. Look, everything is extremely organized and I know exactly where everything is. So I have my inks. So you can see here are my inks. If you turn them off, it looks like that. And which I do, yeah, so, and then my colors are in the bottom like that. So basically I have my inks, but I separate, because I do my inking digitally as well, I separate every figure. So for example, this is my dude, Casimir here, is on a different layer, and then I have the axe, and the blood is on a different layer. And I do that, I separate everything into different planes, and see the smoke is definitely a different layer. And then I also have the smoke separate into, say you have like the background smoke, midground smoke, and the foreground smoke. And that is for the sake of color holds, because I like to be very detailed and painterly with my coloring. So if I want to add some tint to the line art, that helps make things just a little more realistic and adds to the texture. So as you can see, I already did some color holds on Casimir's hair. I don't know if it's visible on the screen because it's a little, I don't know, it's very subtle right now. It shows up more if, let me see if if like the main colors are on. So here, see here on the layer, I do color holds using clipping masks, which is a weird technique. This is definitely not the way I was taught to do it, but I do what I want. But yeah, this is just the technique that works for me. So let me turn the color hold layer on and off. So if you can see, there's a little tint to the line art, and that kind of adds a little more dimension to the area of line that is outlining like his hair. And then I'm going to do the same for the blood definitely and the metal, to just, you know, bring everything out of it and separate everything. And that will definitely help with the smoke, because if I make the smoke sort of a gray or like kind of light purple outline, that makes everything feel a little more lighter and poofier, so that will look more like smoke, which would help because it's smoke, so it's supposed to look more like smoke. That's good. Smoke looking like smoke is good. So yeah, I have my ink set up that way, and then my colors are just, it's just these layers. See here, these are all my flats. So I have my background colors all in one layer, and this is my demons, my demon colors all in one layer, and this is my dude. Whoop, Casimir. So that's all on one layer, and so then after I do the flat colors for that, I do more clipping masks. I love clipping masks. Can you tell? I like clipping masks. I really love clipping masks. And I have a tint. This gradient layer is to add, I wanted to, so you always want to separate like your different planes. So I'm a very bad teacher. So if I don't explain this well, I'm sorry. But basically you want to separate objects on different planes in your coloring always, and also line art, but that's a tangent. So for example here, I am going with a warm foreground. So see, the background behind the demon is purple and a very reddish purple. But the demon monster is also purple, but it's a little cooler toned. And then Casimir, my character in the front, is kind of bluish and green. And then he has like the yellow tones highlighting his face and like neck area, which is what you want to pop, because you want people to focus on a character's face and stuff, and it kind of helps that he's blonde. So the yellow is the direct opposite of the violet that is in the foreground. So by using color, you separate your foreground, midground, and background, and you draw the reader's focus and attention to the correct areas that you want them to look at. So basically, you always want to do that. So that's why I have a gradient layer. You see, I did my flat colors. These are that tone you see there are my original flats, but then I added another tint to make everything, that entire plane more green, because I want that plane to have a green tone, remember? And then on top is just, see, I use SH to denote shade. So that's shade back, drop shadow for the arm and his hair. This is a shade layer for his arm, because I have like a selection, a special like a layer mask. These masks are just selections, and I make that masked out selection area, then I do just paint the shade inside it. And you notice that I'm shading with a dark violet color that is similar to the foreground color, but a little darker, and I turn it on multiply, so all of these shade layers are turned to multiply. And I haven't really done my highlights yet. I've done a few, just lightly, some light gradient highlights, but I'm going to go in after I do my shades to do sort of the really, what do you call it, I guess the more hard highlights. Or for example, the axe is going to have a lot of reflective lighting, and the edges will be, because it's metal, so the highlights on the axe won't look like the highlights on, say, his shirt, because the highlights on his shirt will be kind of just, they'll be very soft. It's cloth. It's a very matte reflective surface. It's not, well, it's a very matte surface. It's not glossy or reflective. But the axe is made of metal, so it'll be glossier and more reflective, so there's going to be a lot more harsh, bright highlights. So I'm going to go in at the end, probably go in with an overlay layer and do those really bright highlights, and that'll pop the axe out more, which will be good because you want the axe to pop out from the figure a little as well. And I also do the same for the demon, because the demon is actually supposed to be shiny. Like these demons have like slime coming off of them, which is what those little, if you see those like bluish light like water splatters all over it, it's slime. And I'm going to do some effects to make it look a little more natural later on. But yeah, the demon will also be a little shiny. So I go in last with my highlights, and I usually denote like the texture for everything a little bit, and also on the hair. But yeah, anyways, so enough rambling on about technicalities. Hopefully that helped a bit, because somebody was asking about, yeah, Daniel, you were asking about how I organize everything and the techniques that I use. So, yep. And I mostly have finished the shading on Casimir. So I just have to do highlights on him. And today I'm doing shading on the demon. My little demon. And I figured it would take, this is going to take forever because the demon, look at it, it's just super wrinkly, details all over. I knew it was going to take me forever, so I was just like, yeah, this would be a good stage to hop on a stream and share with everybody and chat a little bit. Because, oh my gosh. It would just take me forever and I would be just falling asleep otherwise. Jerry, you miss cake? What do you mean you miss cake? I miss cake too. I haven't had cake in a while. I was tempted to buy this matcha cake. So I live in Taiwan, by the way, which is why it's like bright daylight outside. In case you can't tell, my balcony is right over there, so it's super bright out. So it's like the exact opposite of US, like Eastern Standard Time. So it's right now it's 9:12 a.m. So it's in the morning over here. It's like in the morning when it's at night in the States. But yeah. So anyways, my point is I live in Taiwan, so they have like matcha cakes at 7-Eleven, and I was so tempted, but I was like, no, Irene, bad, down, bad, not good. Good for my taste buds, but not good for my health or weight because I sit at home all day and draw. So, not eating matcha cake would be probably a good idea. Though I still drink a lot of bubble tea. I can't help it. You guys know bubble tea is Taiwanese? I never stop talking about that when I'm in the States because I gotta shill my homeland, you know. Bubble tea is Taiwanese, guys. So of course here, like every other street has like a bubble tea shop. So I just I walk around all day. Right now I have coffee with me. So either I have coffee or bubble tea just sitting right here next to me while I'm working. So I'm amazed I'm not a complete fatso yet. It's stunning. I have no idea why because all I do is sit here and chug bubble tea and coffee and draw and don't go out at all. Daniel says I like the way you did the tentacles and how they seem to pop above it all. It's pretty eye-grabbing. Thank you. Yeah. So I think somebody said, and I'm very happy about this. One of my friends said that this design reminded him of of basically Lovecraftian monsters, like Zonth Sothoth, I think. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what I'm going for. That's exactly what I want. I love Lovecraft. I adore Lovecraft. It's been a while since I've read, I don't know, it's been a long time since I've gone through I have this big Lovecraft book collection. It's just a collection of his short stories, but oh my gosh, I love that type of horror. So these monsters, in case it's not obvious, the tentacles are not just there because I watch too much anime. Haha, anime jokes. I was like, I want to like pay homage to Lovecraftian horror, and it's really hard to do cosmic horror with a visual medium because that really is something that comes across better in writing. But for, as far as I can go with that type of horror, and, because it is a mystery story, and, I'm having such a hard time not spoiling everything, but like the origin of where these monsters come from, it's really cool, and it's definitely tied to like that kind of Lovecraftian story that I really like. So yes, so you guys will see. It'll be great. It'll be great. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to reveal more. Oh, the Mountains of Madness is your favorite Lovecraft, Daniel? Cool. I think what was my one story, man? I read it. I've read my Lovecraft collection books so long ago. I don't remember the titles, and I really should go back and read it, because now I just sound like I'm I'm faking it. I'm a fake nerd. No, but there's one story where this guy's the main character's son was killed by some entity that took over his son's body, and it's like the end of the story, spoilers, was his son's body was stuffed in the attic or something. Like, what is the title of that story? That was just so horror inducing. I couldn't forget it. That one really stuck with me. And also there's a collection of this type of mystery that Lovecraft writes, of just like unimaginable horror deep underground, an ancient unknown civilization that was like just hidden like deep in the desert, and like that visceral kind of terrifying unknown, like that type of I don't know, that type of horror is just, that's what I really love. I love it. So yeah, that kind of complete just unknowable mystery, I love it. And that's what I want to. I mean, even if I can emulate it a little bit with what I do, that's what I'm going for. The Whisper in Darkness, I think. I literally have the book over here, but literally it's been like 9 years since I read the book, like 9 years ago. So I promise I will read it again. Probably before, I've been wanting to go over it again as well for some inspiration, because I do want to, I've been looking for some inspiration to like just kind of up the horror a bit in sections of the script that I'm doing. So yeah. And there's a bunch of other Lovecraftian books that I have to buy and read as well when I have the time. So. Oh, lab illustration. Hello. I don't. Lab illustration? Who is that? I'm sorry. Everybody's YouTube name is different. And welcome. Welcome to the stream. I feel like I know you, but your YouTube name is probably not the same one you use in real life, so I feel like I feel bad. But hey, Loudly Silent, hello. Welcome to the stream. I'm so glad you could join. I tried to start earlier at a time where most people are probably just getting off work. Because like before I would start at like 11 my time, because I usually get up a little late, okay? And like I have to have a morning coffee, or I'll just be really, really grumpy, and then I have to like, you know, set everything up and like kind of just get in the groove and then start streaming. So that like the couple of times I've streamed before, I've been streaming on Facebook a few times, and I did a few Twitch streams, but I think I'm liking YouTube a little more, because like I already have a channel on YouTube, and like the Twitch streams go away after a while, and I'm kind of annoyed at that. So I'd like to do more YouTube streams, but yeah, I've been starting them at like 11, and everybody's just like, I'm going to sleep. Why are you starting so late? Because everybody I know is in the US, and mostly in the East Coast, I think. So it was just like, it's 11 p.m. or midnight here. Why are you starting your stream now? I was like, I apologize. I'm a failure. So I tried to start earlier today, and I'm glad there are more people that have been able to hop in. Oh, yes, Lauren. Hi, Lauren. I knew it. I was like, Lab, is that Lauren? Yes, okay. I'm sorry. Girl, what's up? Thanks for joining in. Oh my word. Watch while I noodle through drawing this gigantic monster and all these wrinkles. All the wrinkles. I'm gonna be sitting here all day just drawing wrinkles on this monster. Honestly, this is pretty much the hardest part of this. So in case I haven't said this 50 million times already, I love doing ink work and I hate coloring. So everything that you're watching me do right now, I hate it. But I'm gonna do it because I'm a be a professional. But I hate it. God, coloring is so I already penciled it. I designed it. I penciled it. I inked it. I don't want to look at it anymore. Okay, anyways. I will not throw a tantrum over this. I will just do the work. Oh, thank you, Lauren. I'm so glad you like how the work for the comic has been looking. Oh my gosh. So I was talking to some friends earlier today about, you know how when you do an original idea, an original franchise, like it can really feel like there's just nobody watching at first, especially because, well, it's kind of inevitable, and I kind of knew it would be harder if I went in sort of, how do I put this? Well, any original franchise is going to get less traction and get less feedback, get less eyeballs and likes and clicks than, say, if you do fan art of Black Panther or if you do fan art of Spider-Man. So, and that's pretty obvious, and I was like, I made a point of, okay, I will still do fan art for things I really love, like I did fan art for Alita, and I want to do more, but I have, making money and doing my comic comes first, but I've been like getting an itch. I want to draw more Alita, but like it's so tempting to do more fan art and more, I guess, chase like, I guess, a more popular genre, like draw some superheroes or draw like some cute things that will get a lot of clicks and stuff, but because when you're doing an original story, nobody knows these characters, so it's inevitable that it's just not going to have a lot of people looking at it at first before your comic is out. And even if, no matter how hard you try at the art, like I'm trying my best to, I'm using the fact that I know I have to earn every single pair of eyeballs on this project to push myself to make every page super memorable, to make the writing good. And I like that. I want to push myself, but it always is kind of hard. It is very hard because, it doesn't, like you're doing an original franchise. There is no built-in audience. You have to, everything is just, you only have your own merit and that's it. You have nothing else to lean on. So, my point is, words cannot describe how much I appreciate that, like, you guys are here watching this and that anybody supports me on Patreon. Like, this comic isn't even released. I've just been posting, I post pages, like preview pages, and I post my thumbnails for patron-only content. So, like, people that pledge to me on Patreon know pretty much, they have like the rough, thumbnails for chapter 1, so they know like the beginning of the story. Of course, like they have a lot more, they have like exclusive looks into behind the scenes stuff that I don't post on, say, publicly, like Facebook or Twitter and stuff. But even so, like, the comic isn't out yet, and like I do spend a lot of time working on this. Like, I've been just obsessively building this story and building this world. I have like maps and folders of research and reference, and like I've like scrapped pages and scrapped scripts everywhere, and I've spent hundreds of hours on this, but it's still amazing that people are supporting it because there is no comic out yet. And I know people have no reason to be invested in this. Like, there really is not any reason yet. But so, anyways, my point is, thank you guys for being here. I sincerely am grateful. Yeah, Lauren, inking is the best. It's so therapeutic. Those like adult coloring books where a lot of people say coloring is so therapeutic. I'm like, no, it's not. I don't want to. Coloring is not therapeutic. Inking is. It just, like, inking is like a zen zone. Okay. Oh my word. But Lauren, your colors look so good though. Yeah, guys, by the way, that's Lauren Brown in the channel. She's an awesome illustrator. You guys should check out her channel, or just check out Lauren Brown on her other social media and her Instagram. Lauren, what's your Instagram? She's an awesome artist. Super, super good. Check her out. But your colors look so good. and like your design work is all like bouncy and fluffy, but like it seems like you color things so effortlessly, and I'm just like, really? You don't like coloring? Really? Are you sure? Yeah, it takes a long time to, yeah, Lauren says it takes a long time to get a proper audience to an original idea. Let me save while I'm reading some of the chat. A long time to get an audience to an original idea because you have to have some kind of connection to the content to even be interested. Yeah, exactly. There is, I mean, the whole reason that people are connected to, say, if you make a drawing of Spider-Man is because they know the character. It's just like, it's their friend, it's somebody they know the character's journey, and they're inspired by it. And so it's not just, oh, it's a pretty drawing or the design is good. I mean, that helps, but what people are clicking that like for is the character's journey and the story. So what you really have to sell is a story, and you can be a really good artist, and you can do, you can promote yourself as much as you want, but before the story of these characters that you've created are out and are out and before the eyes of enough people, it makes sense that there's just no way it will, your original idea will gain that much traction, just because people aren't connected to these characters and their stories. So it's hard at first, and it's hard to be patient, but you do have to be. It's going to take a long time, and by a long time I don't mean a few months. Like I know this will take years. It'll take years, and it'll be hard work, but you have to be prepared for it. It's easier said than done, isn't it? it's already it's already like sometimes it's already pretty hard at this point, but I'm not here to ask for pity. I don't want to be a pity party ever. Like I said, I'm grateful that I have any support at all. So yeah, but I am going to push through this. That's my other point. I'm going to push through this. This comic is going to happen. There is no turning back. I have been thinking of going back to working in an animation studio. It would be nice to save up some more money, and I really want to be back in the States because I've been in Taiwan for a couple of years, and man, you guys, I miss the U.S. because it's where all my friends are, and I really don't have that many friends here. I'm culturally super American, so I mean I have some friends and I have family in Taiwan, but like all my art friends are in the States, and I miss you guys. I miss you guys so much. But even then, like, doesn't matter what else happens in my life. This comic is happening. I am determined. I am a stubborn biatch. So I am going to take advantage of that stubborn biatchness and put it all into making this comic happening. All right, let's just put it that way. Oh yeah, Lauren's Instagram and YouTube is Lab Illustration. Yes, LAB Illustration. Check her out. She's awesome. I work with her on Archer. You're also a SCAD, right? Lauren and I both went to SCAD in Georgia, and she did illustration, I think. But yeah, we both worked on Archer way back when. And I left years ago. I was back in Floyd County Productions in Atlanta. It was man, that was a fun job. Good times. But yeah, we go way back. Check out Lauren's YouTube and Instagram if you guys get a chance. References like, oh, what is that? Sorry, my dehumidifier is beeping. References like professional references, or having references for your artwork, like how to draw buildings and stuff like that. I mean, they're both important. Both of those things I mentioned are important forms of references, really, to be honest. I miss the US. My gosh. So I've been mulling over where I should go, because let's see, I lived in Georgia for like 7 years, and then I was in Austin for a couple of years, and I know a ton of people in LA, though to be honest, I'm not too keen on moving to California just because, man, it's so expensive. But then I had a few friends that say they absolutely love it. It's like my friends that moved to LA, either they love it, just love it, love it, love it, or they like hate it, hate it, hate it, and they want to get out, or they're just staying there because they have like a job that pays them well enough to stay there. So I'm not sure what that means and whether that means I'll like it. Like, I've been to LA many times just to visit, and all I remember is, like, I mean, it's good people, and I know a lot of friends there, and I love my friends there, but every time I was like, hey, now we have to go somewhere, let's hop in a car, and just, like, sitting on a highway for 50 minutes, parked on the highway, and that's like, a major memory I have of LA. So, but, man, it's also, like, major city, like, it's kind of like, you know, New York. It's like, you love to hate it, but, you know, you can't help but just, like, kind of feel, like, understand sort of that why it's just such a magnetic place, because it feels like everything in the world is happening there. It's like one of these centers of the planet kind of feeling. So, I don't know, maybe that's talking it up a little too much, but really, it's like everything is happening there. It's such a huge city. So, I don't know. LA, Texas, Georgia, I'm not sure yet. But, you know, it's, I'm gonna go anywhere. I'm flexible, and I love change. I can't stay in one place for too long, guys. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna move to Taiwan, I'm gonna set up a studio here, and it'll be so nice to not have to move, and now it's been 2 years, and I'm like, I wanna move again. I want new experiences. I don't like staying in one place. I want to move around and just try new things. I'm thirsty for experiences. The traffic is the only thing I remember. Oh, yes. Yeah, I am so, and how do I say this? Yeah, it is sad because LA there are so many opportunities there, but literally, also the main thing I remember about LA is the traffic. Like, it's like, yeah, I remember friends and stuff, but I remember, like, Hollywood was dirty, and Hollywood was dirty, there was trash everywhere and weird, really weird people, and then the underground, the transit, whatever they call the metro in LA, was also dirty. And then when you don't take the metro and you get on the highway and drive, it's horrible because you're just parked and you don't move because there's so many cars. But man, there are so many jobs there. If you do animation and film, so many jobs, and gaming, so I can't decide. Impossible to buy a house. Yeah, that too. I am considering, like, if I move back to the States, I'm like, I'm you know, I gotta stop living like a damn college student, and maybe I'm considering buying a house, you know, it'll be a good investment. So California is probably not the best idea. Maybe. That's one reason I'm considering Texas. Because, like, I know a handful of people in Austin as well, and you know what studio I've been eyeing in Texas? I've been eyeing Powerhouse Studios. They're the people that made Castlevania. So I was wondering the other day, who in America does animation that also isn't, like, I mean, I see the charm of really simple animation, sort of, like, I mean, I adore stuff like Gravity Falls and sort of more Cartoon Network-y animation, right? But that's not really my style. So if I can help it, I want to find work doing something that sort of suits what my natural style is more. And, well, like, I think Archer and the stuff that Floyd County Productions is a studio that does Archer. I think everything they do really suits that as well. They do a lot of animation they use sort of, I don't know if you call it limited animation, but it's After Effects and Flash, so you move, like, the joints of it, and you can go into, because you create sort of puppets and then move the figures that way, you can do some more details. So that's more of a style that I guess I just like going to town on the detail. And I would like doing something in that style more. And I just feel like, I can always adapt to doing, say, if like the only job available was, hey, there's the opening of Rick and Morty, I'm not going to turn it down. But I feel like I would be more invested if it was something that was is closer to like the kind of stuff I want to do. And I mean, I love stuff like Castlevania and just everything that Powerhouse has done. I've really adored. But it's one of those things, because it's actually a studio that I would really love to work for. I'm just like, I'm already telling myself there's no way you're going to actually work for them. It's just impossible. But they are in Austin, and I did live in Austin, and I have half a mind to just move back, pick up and move back anytime. So you never know. Hey, Powerhouse, if anybody who works at Powerhouse is watching, hit me up, send me an email, please. Hire me. I will do all the things. I'll do all your storyboards and backgrounds. Oh, your roommate works at Powerhouse. That's awesome. Yeah, I feel so ashamed of myself because when I was actually living in Austin, I was working for a gaming company. Not like AAA or video games. It was a casino game company, so nothing fancy. But I was working for a casino game company it was more like 2.5 years. I was there for almost 3 years, honestly. But I didn't know that Powerhouse was in Austin. And I feel like such an idiot. I didn't even know that they were there until like I moved to Taiwan. And I was like, oh, this studio is doing... And this American studio is doing animation that's like dark fantasy, and it's super detailed, and it looks like it's like anime influence, and it's actual 2D animation. Who is doing like detailed 2D animation in America? I mean, they probably outsource the actual animation, but I know they do the storyboards in-house. And I was just like, who has been doing this? It's awesome. It's like kind of anime, but not, and it's like kind of American, and it's like this in between, and it's just perfect. It's exactly the kind of stuff I like to do. Like I like stuff that's just like, this is like the East and the West just came together and smashed into each other, had a baby. So that's exactly how I describe, yeah. But yeah, I was very, very impressed by all the stuff that Powerhouse has done, and I am mad at myself that I didn't know that they were right in my backyard when I was living in Austin. But I might move back. I have in mind to move back to Texas at any time, whenever I just get tired of Taiwan. Oh yeah, there's also Rooster Teeth. I know some more people at Rooster Teeth. For some reason, I know more people at Rooster Teeth. I don't think I directly know anyone at Powerhouse, or at least not well. I have a few. I mean, I think I have sort of just like secondary connections through just people I've met in Austin. But yeah, I definitely know people at Rooster Teeth, and maybe I might consider applying to Rooster Teeth as well. But did I still do Ruby, or did Ruby end? The thing is, I'm just not sure, like, the style would be a good fit. Like, I want to find a studio where I can really contribute something. So, like, my main thing is, for animation, I can do background designs, character designs, and storyboarding. And I know After Effects, and, like, I mean, I minored in animation, so I can do some animation work. But, like, I can do some 3D, but I'm not professional level at it. I can just, like, do a little 3D to, like, help myself draw backgrounds if I need to. And I haven't even done it in years. So I know stuff like Ruby is primarily in 3D. I don't know. But you can always learn. I'm always open to learn new skills and stuff. It's just a matter of whether or not I think I would actually be a good fit for a studio. Oh, sorry, Jerry. Yeah, I don't know. Austin seems like a pretty good bet right now. It does. But you never know. I mean, at the end of the day, it just depends on where I actually get work. But yeah, it would be nice to, work in animation again. I yeah, it's been a while, and I kind of miss it, and it would be really cool to I don't know, it would be really cool to be part of a team like that and work on a show that I could really contribute to. Oh yeah, the pay at you're talking about the pay at Rooster Teeth is not that good. A lot of studios in animation don't pay that good. You know what though? At least in America, it's not as bad as it is in Japan and Taiwan. Like here, so in Taiwan, it's not that there are no animation jobs, and there actually are a handful of gaming and animation jobs. But it's just the thing is, they pay so bad. And first of all, there are a lot of, like, mobile games are really big here, so I don't think, maybe some of the outsourcing studios for like Japanese shows and American shows are done in Taiwan, though I think most of them are done in Korea or China. But there are 3D animation studios, a handful of them in Taipei, and there are definitely a lot of mobile gaming companies. But the thing is, they pay like crap, and people don't treat their employees well at all here. They treat you like you're just an art monkey. So yeah, the work culture is horrible, and I don't know. It's I definitely would rather work in animation in the States than anywhere in Asia at this point. How hook you up with your powerhouse connection? I will. I mean, I can go back anytime. I'm like, my bags will be packed, and I mean, it's not like it's hard for me to go back to the States. I'm a dual citizen, so there's like, I can just pack my bags and move back there anytime. It's not a problem. So man, I was really just considering. I've been really busy these couple of weeks. I wanted to add a bunch of commissions to finish, and then I wanted to play catch up on FIENDISH. And then I've been trying to upload. I wanted to update my portfolio before reaching out to some people I knew and looking at, sending it out to some animation studios and seeing who had some openings. But yeah, I was hoping to do that by the end of this week and send out my updated portfolio and all that jazz, and like, if there's an opportunity, I'm just up and gone. It's not hard at all for me to just pick up and move because I do it all the time. So yeah, I have my bags packed. I pretty much already do. Man, I really wish I could stay in a place longer, but got that wanderlust, Just got that wanderlust. But yeah, probably, I'm thinking Austin. So, as much as I love Atlanta, I was already there for like 7 years. Man, I gotta say though, Atlanta has really been fancied up. I guess it must be like all the film industry money, because when I went back about a year ago, and wow, Atlanta has changed a lot. There's like so many new, I guess there's like this brand new big shopping mall and like new, I don't know, little suburbs and stuff. It must be all the film, it is all the film industry money. It's gentrified. But it's like, it feels like Atlanta's coming up. And I do miss it, but I don't know. Man, I'm just gonna go where the opportunities take me. I'm flexible and I'm not picky. I'm a hard worker. I'll go where the opportunities are, That's all. Return to us. I will. As much as I love Taiwan, like, this is the problem with being international. So, I'm a dual citizen. I'm half Taiwanese, half American. And the problem is just, there is nowhere I can be where I'm just like content. I feel like there's just no way around it. Like, I have to spend a little time in Taiwan, spend a little time in the States. And when I'm in Taiwan, I miss the States. When I'm in the States, I miss Taiwan. And it's just this endless cycle of I don't know what, it's not unhappiness, but man, yeah. I don't know. And then it's like, oh, just move to California. But it's like, California's not like Taiwan. It's not like Asia. It's a little closer, it's about it. But yeah, man, being international is the problems of being international. First world problems. That's what it really is, first world problems. Seriously. Oh no! Jerry, you went there. Atlanta is the strip club capital of America. I mean, I've been in the outskirts of Atlanta, I remember. Oh my word. I know Atlanta's being all, I know, gentrified and cleaned up now. I don't know how it is these days. Yeah, Atlanta would probably, I mean, that would be an option as well. But, you know, housing costs, you know, this is boring. I'm not going to talk about, like, whether or not buying a house is, where is buying a house more affordable on my YouTube art stream. Let's stay focused and talk about art. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it'll be great to be back in the States. I'll be able to do more conventions. That'll be nice. And there's also it would be more convenient to do conventions, and also mailing books and stuff and commissions to fans would be a lot more convenient. Just as much as I love Taiwan, I love being in Asia. Like, I mean, it's so convenient here. And anyone, I mean, you guys probably all know, I'm always talking about Taiwan is so convenient. The weather is gorgeous. People are super nice. It's so safe here. It's super, super safe. And it's a very modern country. And just, there's like 7-Elevens on every corner. Food is fantastic. But, man, it's just, the career that I'm interested in, the field that I can contribute to and that I can work in, there's not really anything here. Because the thing is, people read a lot of manga. And my phone's going off. Please ignore that. And people grow up reading manga because there's not a lot of American comics. I don't think, for some reason, American publishers don't do Mandarin Chinese translations. Let me turn my phone off so it doesn't keep on bothering you guys. Let me mute my phone real quick. But for some reason, there aren't really any Mandarin Chinese American comics. It's all, but there's a lot of Japanese language or manga that's translated from Japanese, and then some manhwa as well, and then Hong Kong has a small comics industry. So that's what we get here. And a lot of people grow up reading comics, but it's like, it's not seen as a viable career once you grow up. And so it's like, yeah, there's a lot of, the culture is really nerdy, but it's all tech stuff. So there's a huge computer industry here. There's a huge tech industry, and that's kind of branched out into mobile games, and like everybody plays mobile games here, even just like old people like middle-aged dudes going to work and people on the transit, everybody's playing mobile games. So that's a huge market here, and there have been some mobile game companies that have sprung up. But so I could work in that, but outside of that, like as far as comics go and animation, a sort of, I don't know, like storytelling, because like, of course I want to be in a creative field, but what I really love is storytelling, and there is basically no real domestic market for comics or animation. I don't know, that has a substantial reach is what I mean. There's a small domestic market, but it's really, there is no reach. So it's just a pity. It's just a pity. I really love living here, but you know, I'm not going to get anywhere with my career if I stay here. Or I can use the internet, but it'll take me forever. So. Oh, I'm sorry, Jerry. Let's continue talking about that 7-Eleven cake. I'm so bad with tangents. I can't help it. My brain is just all over the place. That's 7-Eleven cake. Now I'm regretting that I didn't buy it, because then I can show you. It looks so good. It was literally like 30 minutes before I started the stream, because I went to get my coffee from 7-Eleven, and there was just this matcha cake. It was the most amazing, sublime looking thing. It was like this big. It was kind of a thin slice, but it had, it was matcha, and then I think they had cream, and then red beans. It was like it was like a trinity. It was a trinity of dessert sublimity, and that made no sense. That was not proper English, but it looked so good, and now I'm craving it. I'm regretting I didn't buy it. Watch me, once this stream ends, I'm gonna like just dash out the door and buy me some matcha cake. Thanks, Jerry. Now I can't stop thinking about it. I will also miss matcha cake when I'm back in the States. And authentic good bubble tea. Because Lord knows you don't have that in the States. But I guess that's a trade-off I'll have to make for, you know, being able to work in my industry. So yeah, I mean, being able to, I've been working just over the internet for the past couple of years, you know, like I'd get some work from Marvel and other comic publishers, and I do a lot of commissions, but still, you know, your location matters, and if I was able to actually physically be in the States, it would be just so much more convenient for what I'm doing. And also other things like I want to incorporate myself and like start a small business, and it's like, how am I going to do that if I'm not in the States? You need an address in the U.S. So other complicated, boring business stuff, but yeah, I am considering definitely going back to the States soon. You never know where life is going to take you. Matcha cake, it looked so good. I don't know if it was good, but I bet you it was. You know what? I promise you, after the stream ends, I'm going to go buy that matcha cake. I will take a picture, and I will post it on Facebook and Twitter, and I will show you all the glory of this cake. Then I will eat it and be fat. And then I will, I don't know, get on the ground and do like 50 push-ups or something. That's not even a lot. I'm a weakling. But yeah, I'm gonna be a fatty after this stream, and I'm gonna go buy that matcha cake. It's gonna happen. Oh, what kind of business? Just for my freelancing, you know, art, like literally what I'm doing now. Because I mean, there's like, if I'm working for so sort of, it's pretty common if you're doing art. Say even if you're working for an animation studio, yeah, you have some income from an animation studio, but almost inevitably, if you're doing art, full-time professionally, you're going to be doing commissions and like your own books and self-publishing stuff on the side. So it's just for a bunch of reasons, like there's tax reasons, there's just it just kind of looks better as well if you're incorporated, if you're an LLC. A lot of reasons, but yeah, if you can incorporate yourself and start an LLC, just like you can be one person, but you can still be a business in the U.S. That it is much better. It is much better if you're doing art. So, and I know I probably should have done it a long time ago, and I haven't. I do have a business bank account, but I know that really doesn't matter. The IRS doesn't even care about that. It's just all the same thing to them, no matter if it's technically a business bank account or not. But yeah, I really should incorporate myself and register as I don't know, what do you call it? Sole proprietor? Is that what it is? If you're just like one person and you yourself are your company. So I would like to do that. Yep, that'll be cool. If you hit the floor for a push-up, then you're taking a nap. I I understand what you meant by that. Yeah, I mean, that, let's be honest, that's me too. Yeah, that's also me. I don't actually work out. I don't actually do any push-ups. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? I've been playing some frisbee. That's some exercise, kind of. Not really. I'm so out of practice. I used to be really good at frisbee. I played ultimate frisbee in high school. Now I suck though, because high school is forever ago. Man. Oops. All right, let's see how this is looking. Look how long that's taken me. All I've done is just like shade the neck area. Oh my god. It's taking me forever. It doesn't help that I'm talking constantly. But yeah, I'm gonna, let's see, shade all of these millions and millions of folds, add some shine to them. Add some shine to this monster because they're all slippery and gooey and shiny. Man, I'm really looking forward to revealing more of these monster designs because, let's see, I've been just going to town in my sketchbook on doing like different monster designs because let's see, I have like some basic rules for how the monsters in this comic should work. But it's basically, the only rules are like, almost all of them have tentacles. So I'm doing the whole like Cthulhu and Lovecraftian thing. And like they all have these weird, like warped, gross faces. And they have like multiple faces. And the concept is they're kind of amphibian-like. Like I went with sort of, they're tentacled and they're amphibian-ish. And they secrete acid. But other than that, they can be literally any shape. So like, I was designing this, oh my god, it was the grossest design the other day. I don't even know, I was like ashamed of myself when I came up with the idea, but also proud. Like, I came up with the idea of this just like, a monster, just a ball of like monster faces, just like a writhing, seething ball, and then just like a trail of tentacles out the back. So gross, so gross. I don't know where these ideas come out of my mind, but they're there and they happen. So they've got to go somewhere. I've got to put it out somehow. You know, can't just let it go to waste. That's what this comic is for. Look at them guns. These flabby little things. There are no guns here. No, there's one muscle fiber. I have like one muscle fiber and it's in this hand and it's for drawing. That's literally it. I'm just shocked that my legs haven't atrophied at this point. God, I really need to get out more. Make a multi-billed duck with tentacles. A duck with tentacles? I mean, I can. Let's see. Hold on. You know what? Let me save. And I have my sketchbook right here. Let me see if I can show you guys some of these. It probably won't show up very well on the screen at all. And if it doesn't, I apologize. Oh, here you go. So, let me see. All right. Is this, can you guys see this? I know my screen on, my webcam screen is like super small, but if you guys can see this, these are some of the monsters. And see that ball in the corner? That's like the one I was talking about. That's just a ball of faces with a trail of tentacles. So anyways, those are some ideas. And here's another page of monsters. Most of these I'm actually not using. These are really early designs where I was actually considering making the monsters like almost a year ago. These are really old. These are from like a year ago. And I was considering making the monster shapeshifters, kind of werewolf-ish, and I was like, that's not nearly original enough. They're just werewolves that are kind of not shaped like wolves. dumb. That's definitely been done before. I mean, everything's kind of been done before, but I want to do something that was just a little more rarely done, you know, like a really wild out there design that wasn't just kind of, I don't know, something like this. So yeah, I scrapped most of these. Though I have this like weird frog one. That's really, I think, look, isn't that guy cute? That one's nice. I'm kind of proud of that. I might reuse that design. But yeah, these are most of the ones I already scrapped. But yep, and there's a bunch of other ones that I'm not going to spoil. That a bunch of monster designs on my computer. But that is that's like half of what I spend my time doing, other than revising my script over and over again. Shayla would laugh if I was grossed out by my monster designs. Yeah, you know, Shayla would probably look at this baby here and be like, "Oh my God, so cute! Can I hug it?" I love Shayla. She does really good monster designs. I should probably, I don't know. I feel like monster design isn't my forte. Like I don't know. I feel like I've been managing, but it's not really my forte. I feel like I should like hire somebody to do some designs for me. That would be cool to have some artists I know that do really good monster designs, like do some, you know, some creatures for this comic. I might do that. That would be a pretty good idea. I think it would be. I mean, I want, you know, here's another thing I do. Right now this comic is pretty much just me doing everything alone. But I want it to be a somewhat collaborative effort. I don't want to be, I mean, I am a bit of a control freak with the story and the overall project, and you know, it is my story, but I want to bring on other artists for designs. Like I said, I have a colorist because I hate coloring, and I'm thinking of getting, I don't know what publisher I'm going to go with yet, but I already am thinking of getting like an editor or maybe a co-writer or somebody that is more specialized in writing to help me out and sort of iron out the wrinkles and stuff. And maybe I'll have some people like do some guest monster designs and stuff. Yeah, I'm totally open to doing that. So I think that would be cool. Like I want to bring some other people on here and there and do, you know, contribute a little bit to the project. And I think that'll be really, really awesome. Too bad, like I'm just some like newbie artist starting out, and I don't have like, you know, the money or clout to like just start a little studio and be like, hey, let's just start producing this comic and just hire a team and stuff. But you know, you never know. Maybe someday in the future that'll happen. Oh, I'm glad you like my little sketchbook monsters. I'm proud of my little monster designs. Like the more, I don't know, the ones I said I did a year ago, the more sort of standard shapeshiftery werewolf ones, like I don't know if I'll use those, but maybe I'm also doing a lot of fantasy monsters. Well, no. I mean, obviously I have these they're kind of like demons, you know, like these tentacled things. But beyond that, it is a fantasy world. So, for example, I have the characters early on, they fight a Krampus. If you know, a Krampus in sort of Eastern and Northern European folklore, it's like, it used to be like the opposite, like the antagonist to Santa Claus. And of course they don't use that, you know, in some parts of Europe they still sort of celebrate Krampus, or it's still a fixture of like the Christmas season and stuff, but they don't really emphasize, like overall globally people don't emphasize Krampus as much because kids nowadays are soft and everything scares them. I'm kidding, but it's true. But basically Krampus is like an evil thing that comes out at Christmas, and they steal kids, and there's a basket on this like monster's back, and they'll steal naughty kids. But it's this goat creature with horns and like dark fur, and I designed my own version of it for my comic. So a few chapters in, the characters will be fighting a Krampus, and And I'm really excited to show that, because I went with sort of, I took the traditional design of a Krampus, but I sort of modified it. So the Krampus in my world has like, it's a creature with ice powers. So it has like 7 fingers that are long and have like pointy claws, and they can control ice. Like, by the way, because I'm an insane person, this is how in depth I've gone with this world. I have a magic system designed. I have a constructed language that I have. The dictionary for it is very small, but I'm working on it. So there's a constructed language, there's a magic system. Technically there are 3 magic systems, but I'm only focusing on one, because most of the story takes place on one continent. So there's only one magic system that you really have to know in depth, because there's only one that ties into the actual storytelling and ties into how the characters develop. Because like, as some of the characters, they can do magic, and as they advance, as their characters advance, as they learn new skills, they get better at what they do, and they learn more magic, and they get, better and better at it. So I need to have like I feel like I need to have like a solid system where a reader will be able to tell that it's, logically you can see that they're actually getting better at doing this. So anyways, my point is, I have like actual magic system in this world, and the Krampus, see, I go off on tangents a lot, but the Krampus has ice magic, and the characters fight that creature early on. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's my point. Going back to, staying on topic. My point is magic and monsters, and I'm way too excited about everything. Evil Santa, yeah, exactly. You should look it up. It's a lot of fun. Oh yeah. You know what, Lauren? I'm liking this idea too. I want to have people design monsters for my comic. I would like to do that, because say, the thing is, I mean, man, that would take a lot of work off of my shoulders as well. So I think I'm gonna take up that idea, because, man, without spoiling too much about the story, and I don't think this is really a spoiler, there are going to be a lot of these demonic monsters all throughout the story, and like literally hordes of them, and I can't design all of them myself. So I can channel my Miura, the Berserk artist, but I am not Miura. I don't think I can design all of them myself. Dessert. Why did I just say dessert? I don't know. It's English. What is English? And there's going to be so many things to design. It'll be so insane. So I really think it would be kind of cool I know a lot of good artists. I know a lot of people that are really, really good at monster design. So yeah, I think I seriously will, hire some people on to do just like monster designs and stuff, and it'll be a lot of fun. It's gonna happen. I am excited about all this. You have no idea. Like, I don't know. I have a hard time just, like, this is how excited I am about it. I'm actually on a stream talking to people about this comic, and I am the most antisocial person. This is not a natural habitat, but I am so excited about this comic. I will talk about it nonstop and spend hours yapping about it on a live stream. So yes. It's just, even if nobody reads it in the end, I'm gonna make it happen. Yeah, I have done a lot of work building my fantasy world. It's a little ridiculous. I've done like I did one map of the world, And then I did some more editing on the story, and I went over my story and I fine-combed everything, and I sort of like picked out, I edited like my script a few times, and I did like a major overhaul, and then I realized my old map didn't work, so I had this huge detailed map of my world, and then I just decided I had to scrap it. But that's just how it goes. But it's you can't be, I guess, how do you say it? You can't be averse to scrapping work especially at an early stage, because having a strong foundation, a strong basis for starting out for your project, especially something that this project is going to be, it's going to take years. It's going to, like, once I publish it, once I put it out there, it's going to be years and years of my life. So, like, and if I don't have a strong foundation from the beginning, if I don't plan everything out as perfectly as I can, it won't be perfect, but you can always aim for it. You can always try to be as thorough as possible. And if I don't at least try, then, like, things are just going to be more and more jumbled the further on you go. Like, you need to have a strong foundation, and that's how you build on it. So even if it's a lot of mistakes and there's a lot of trial and error and stuff at this stage in a creative process, I'm willing to go through it. So, yeah. But it is a lot of work. And now I'm working on my second version of the world map. Oh my word. Which I'm thinking of posting it on Patreon. Let me know, guys, if you would like to see my work in progress for the world map. If you support me on Patreon, comment on just the YouTube stream or on Patreon and let me know. I have like a really rough layout. It's not final yet, but I don't know if you guys would be interested. Just let me know. I can't believe how much how obsessive I've gotten with this project sometimes as well. It's just sometimes I do feel like my inner old person voice is like, what are you doing with your life? You're just imagining things, and you're not like out there making money and working a 9-to-5 job. But it's not that I'm not concerned about making a living. Obviously, I still am very concerned about making a living, but it's just I want to make a living doing this, right? It's an investment. This is starting a business. It's a creative business. And it's a really weird kind of profession and business, but it still is, right? It is still like building on something, and you're creating like your own, it's like your own company, it's your own studio, so. Okay, I will post my map. I'll post my map on Patreon. I gotta touch it up a little bit though, it's a complete mess, but yeah, I think the version I have now it's pretty final, as far as I know. It's worked pretty well with everything in the story, and because here's the thing. I know a lot of franchises I like, and a lot of writers that I really like. They do really well with saying stuff like, sort of more, how do you say it? You have like, you have soft magic system and hard magic system, where soft magic system are stuff like A Song of Ice and Fire, where the magic is sort of a mystical, like instinctive thing, like half instinctual, and George R. R. Martin said it himself, you want a magic to feel like there wasn't a strict system for the magic. And some other franchises like Berserk, you don't even have a world map. You don't have like a strict calculation. This is how many days, this is how many hours it takes to get from this one point of the story to this other, or this one place you see in a story to this other place. But it's like, I'd like to just feel grounded in the world. So I want to have everything designed. I want to have an actual world map. And I feel like it's just, I think the reader will appreciate that. Like, even if it is kind of a lot of extraneous work, I think in the end, like, of course I'll release all of this in extra material. There will be art books, there'll be like like a supplemental book with like world maps and like descriptions of cities and stuff, and like I'll release the constructed language that I made. Like there'll be like a little dictionary for that as well. So there's a lot of supplemental materials that I'm planning on releasing, and hopefully people that, if you like the story, you would also pick up on a supplemental material, and you know, you would appreciate that being there. So that's just a little extra something, and I think it helps ground the readers in this world, because I feel like it's just hard to be grounded in a completely fantasy world that's so different from our own. Like, it's not just, hey, this is something that's kind of Tolkien, or hey, this is just our world, like Earth, but with magic. No, it's completely different. Like, the map of the continents is completely, you know, it's really just all fantasy. So I don't know. I'm doing so much work because I feel like it would help the readers be more grounded, and it's all for the sake of the story. It's all for the story. Story comes first. It is a brand. Well, that's what doing art is, isn't it? It really is about building a brand. It's your style. It's not just your art style. It's the type of genre that you gravitate towards, and the kinds of products you put out, and the way you present yourself. It's all a brand. So, yeah, it's a lot more to this than just drawing good. As much as I wish it was just about drawing good. No, there's a lot more to it. So sometimes I'm grateful for that. Sometimes I loathe it a little bit. Because here's one truth. All artists are very antisocial. Even if they pretend to be social, they're deep down hermits. Or at least I know I am deep down a bona fide hermit. But that isn't going to get me work. And that isn't going to build me a brand. So you got to put yourself out there. There's a lot more to all of this than just making pretty drawings. Even though that's what all my teachers thought it was when I was little. Doing art is just making pretty drawings. You're gonna starve and you can't make a living off of art. You're gonna be a failure. Let's see. I feel like, yeah, I usually shade a little faster, but like I said, I'm also yapping while I work, so this is like I'm working at like half speed and noodling on everything. You know, do these plates look weird to you guys? I made the plates a slightly lighter color than the main body. I think that looks okay. I thought it was weird if it was all just one color. Let me see. Yeah, it looks weird if it's all one color. Let me just keep that. Oh, right, let's continue. You know what? Actually, that's pretty good progress. Look, I did all of that and on this stream. That's pretty good, right? That's decent. Now I feel like it's so purple. I don't know, when I zoom out, I don't know why. I suddenly feel like there's so much more purple, and it's almost like a little kind of, this is like if you don't look at the guy in the foreground, it's like these are like Barbie doll colors. It's kind of funny. I don't know why I use so much purple in my coloring. I actually don't like purple at all. I really like tan and gold and warm colors, but purple is a really good color for making things pop. Like, it's good for shadows. If you contrast purple with greens and yellows, it makes a really, really pretty palette that I think it works well for like fantasy and mystery. That's why, like, that's what I'm gravitating towards making this comic, or the palette that I'm gravitating towards using for this comic. So it's funny because I really don't like purple, but it turns out I think it's gonna be like most of the palette, or I'm gonna be using like a purple yellow palette for most of Fiendish. Let's see, let's shade in these Gross fleshy bits. Gross fleshy bit. Oh yeah, hue saturation. Yeah, I gotta check that as well. I haven't been checking my values. Well, I don't think it'll really make a difference to check my values now. But when I'm gonna put in my highlights. I'm gonna do my shades and then my highlights. But yeah, that's a really good point. So I'll turn off all the saturation over the whole image and make sure that, my brightness, or there's contrast. My lights and darks are looking good. Yep, that's always a good thing to remember. I'm just so glad that most of this comic will be in black and white, though. I mean, I'm open to if whatever publisher I end up going with really wants, I guess, the comic to be in color, and they're like, yeah, we want a colorist to be in it, that's fine. I'll hire a colorist, but I am not coloring my pages. Oh my word. You guys want to see what the pages I have so far? Let me save real quick. I'll show you guys. Let's see. Oh, these are a bunch of other covers that I have, but they're all super rough, so I guess I can show some of them here. That's one cover. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see it. I know the corner of my screen is kind of covered by my webcam. So that's one cover. I'm really looking forward to doing this one. I think this will be cool. That's one of the characters. I just posted a design for this character. Her name is Yomi, and she'll be introduced at the end of chapter 1. So I really like her design. I think she has a really cool story arc. It's really cool. She starts out. That's Ivar. That's a different character, but Yomi, her character, she starts out just from like the bottom of the bottom. She has nothing, and I don't want to spoil too much, but like she goes on like the coolest journey, and she just she earns so much for herself throughout the course of this whole story. So she's one of the major characters, and I'm really looking forward to introducing her. So there's that cover. Here's another concept that I'm thinking of doing. I'll probably do that for chapter 2. It's these are 3 of the major characters. It's Casimir, Ivar, and Yomi. And there's a few other. I have a core cast of about 4 characters, but there's another character that isn't going to be introduced until about chapter 5. But so the first few chapters is just the 3 of these kids. So I'm thinking this will probably be the chapter 2 cover. I'm not sure where this will be yet, but I like this as well. Ivar is he starts out pretty young. He's only like 15 at the start of the story, but he's an archer, and he's also really good with machines, like fixing things and building things. So I like the composition of this, and I think I might do that after I'm done with this chapter 1 cover that I'm working on now. But yeah, I was going to show you guys the pages that I have now. I posted, let me see. I posted a lot of them on, well, I don't want to spoil too much because a lot of these I said would be patron exclusive. So I'll just show, let's see. Oh, let me show you guys the prologue. Here you go. I don't have every single cover planned out, Lauren, but it's just, I didn't make a conscious decision to plan out all my covers, but I just had so many ideas for covers. Like half of those covers I just showed would probably be scrapped and never be used, but I had so many ideas. I just opened a Photoshop file. I was like, I have to design a logo. I needed a logo, so I designed a logo, and I was like, I need to know what my chapter 1 cover is going to look like. And it's like, oh, I have another idea, and I sketched it out, and I have another idea. I just had so many ideas, and before I knew it, I had like 30 sketches for cover ideas, and half of them would probably not be used. Because like you look back like a week later and you're like, oh, that was a terrible idea. And covers are hard. Covers are really hard. And there's you never know what the details and the story might change, but like I do have like 30 compositions already planned out for my covers. Did I mention I'm a little obsessive? Did I mention that? So anyways, these are the prologue pages that I posted, and these are going to be colored. These are being colored right now by my good friend Carlos, and he's a really good colorist, and he also really likes doing monsters, so I'm really looking forward to how he does those monsters. That's page 2, and there's page 3. And this is a flashback to Casimir's childhood. So the whole idea is, so Casimir is the guy that is, fighting the monster on the cover, and the story starts out with this 3-page prologue, and it's this memory that he has of him as a child, and he vaguely remembers encountering these monsters, and his whole backstory is his entire hometown was wiped out by a mysterious monster, like demon invasion that just came out of nowhere. But his memories are kind of choppy, and he doesn't remember exactly what happened. He doesn't remember where the monsters came from or how it started. All he knows is he woke up in the morning and he was just covered in blood, and his brother was dying next to him, and everyone else in town was dead, and there were monsters roaming about, and as far as he knows, he was the only one to escape the town alive, and it's and his whole thing about his brother died protecting him all through the night, just fighting off the monsters, and this whole story, and he ran away when he's 11 here in this prologue. So this was years and years ago. He barely remembers it, but he's grown up somewhere else, and now these monsters are showing up again, and it's they start to figure out, him and some of the other characters, they figure out these demons that they don't know where they're coming from are spreading. So he decides, okay, he has to head back to his hometown, to the origin point of where these creatures came from, and find the truth. So that's what the first arc is about, and these pages, this is how the story starts. Yup. And I'm excited to show more, but I can't spoil anything. Okay, all right. Those are all the pages I'm going to show everybody today. La 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 la. He is the monster. Well, he is connected to why the demons appeared. He is connected. It's interesting, let's just say that. I mean, it's not like he transforms into some weird tentacled Cthulhu or anything weird like that. But no, let's just say these demons they're not technically from this world, and they were brought here by a person that he knew for a specific purpose. So let's just say that. Yep. So there's an intelligent antagonist behind the monster. All these monsters and the demons. There's an intelligent antagonist behind all of this, and because monsters are cool, but they're not a proper villain. You know what I mean? A proper villain is someone who's smart, who knows. I've said this before. You want a villain who's who has a goal, who has a philosophy, who's charismatic, and who can make a point, and who has who's intelligent and really formidable. You want an actual person. So the monsters that's just the lead-in. That's just the fun stuff. So the first arc, that's called Epicenter, is just going to be fun fighting monsters and getting to know the main core cast, and them just sort of kind of getting to know their fighting styles and learning their backstories, and it's just a fun romp, killing monsters and figuring out who the actual villain of the series is. But after everybody figures out who the person they're up against is, and this grand plan, of course, that this person has concocted up, that's when the serious business starts. So, it starts out as kind of a monster fest, but that's not all the series is going to be. There's so much more. Ah. Oh, I'm glad you like the premise, Lauren. Thank you. Man, yeah, you never know when inspiration is going to come. And it sounds cheesy to say, but you know how it is. Sometimes, no matter what you do, you just can't come up with a proper idea. But then you'll be just sitting on the train or in the shower. All the ideas come in the shower. I don't know what it is about showers, but all the good ideas appear when you're like, I don't know, have soap in your eye or something. Or like when you're like trying to go to sleep. At least for me, like I lose so much sleep just because like I'll be thinking so much about what I want to do, and like some story idea will pop into my head, and I'll like have to shoot out of bed and write it on my phone, and I can never go to sleep because like that's when all the good ideas come. But yeah, man, I feel like saying muse or inspiration is little, like, I feel like it's a little cheesy, but it's kind of, there's some truth to it. Like, you never know when, like, that spark is going to come. Sometimes you just can't control it. Sometimes you just can't find it. And, well, it really sucks when it's just, when the ideas just don't come, you know? I mean, you can make yourself do the work. You can make yourself draw and make your hands move. But especially with writing and with character, that kind of stuff, it's hard to do if you don't, like, if the ideas just aren't coming. I don't really know. I guess what helps me if I have artist or writer's block. I mean, it still happens. Like, even if you are really on a roll with the project, it happens less and less if you're really entrenched in a project and if you're on a roll, but it's still possible. I think honestly what really helps me is just like role-playing games. Like my only hobby pretty much is I draw all the time, and I also play D&D and Pathfinder. Like, pretty much role-playing games pen and paper role-playing games are my only hobby. I don't do anything else. I don't play video games. Well, I read sometimes, and I read a lot of manga and prose books. But, like, besides from that, I never go out. I don't party. I don't play any video games, like I said. I don't even watch TV shows. I barely see any movies. I am a complete hermit. I have no life, and the only social interaction that I usually have is playing role-playing games. But I feel like that really helps me sort out my creative blocks. So maybe if you're into that might help a little bit. Oh yeah, thanks for joining. Yeah, it probably is late over there. Yeah, thank you so much for joining, Lauren. It was so good to talk to you again. Hopefully, I will be back in Austin soon, and we will have to meet up. Definitely. I mean, I miss my Austin, and of course I miss my friends there, and I miss you. So, yeah, have a good night, and thank you so much for joining. Yes, I will move back to the States. Yes, I swear. I've been getting hounded for it. But like the problem is when you know people kind of all over the country. Like all my family is in Taiwan, so I kind of, it's not like I have family in the States and I could just move where they go. So I kind of don't. I mean, I have an aunt. I have some family in New York, but it's not people I'm particularly close to. And it's like, I mean, they're not gonna, you know, my family is very, like, get your own place, live on your own, like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, kind of, and which I appreciate, and I am also kind of like that, but it's just like, I will have to be self-sufficient, but that also means I can't make up my mind about where to go when I move back. Oh my gosh. Endgame. You know what? Marvel, Disney, your magic, your Your voodoo magic? I don't know. That's probably an uncharitable way to put it. You might have brought me out of my hermitage. I might have to see Endgame this weekend. I might have to. I haven't seen all of the movies leading up to it. I've seen, let's see, I don't even know. I've watched the major ones. I've seen Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther, and did I see Thor? I watched one Thor. Did I see Ragnarok? I didn't see Thor Ragnarok! Oh my god, people are gonna kill me now. My DMs are gonna blow up because I just said that. I didn't see Captain Marvel. Yeah. But I might have to go see Endgame anyways. Or that, or I just, like, don't sleep for the rest of the week and watch marathon all of the Marvel movies, all of the MCU movies before the weekend, so I can actually know what's going on, because I feel like if I go into Endgame right now, I have no idea what's going on. Man. But yeah, I feel like I'll just be in a cultural void. Like, the entire world will be over here, and I'll be here if I don't see this movie. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I might have to go see Endgame. Darn it. Darn it, Marvel. I'm just kidding. I'm looking forward to it. It looks like it'll be cool. It's a big finale, man. It's gonna be huge. Oh, I also saw Ant-Man. That's right, I saw Ant-Man. I wanted to see Thor Ragnarok. I think I was on a really insane deadline when Thor Ragnarok came out, so I wanted to see it. I remember the trailer. I downloaded the Led Zeppelin song because of the trailer. I was like, this is the coolest trailer ever. It looks so cool. And I had all these scenes and, I can't talk. So many cutscenes and like references. I've seen it all over the place, but I haven't seen the actual movie. I was really busy when it came out, so I didn't have a chance to go see it. Yes, I know, I suck. But yeah, maybe I'll just sit down and marathon everything before the weekend, and I'm going to go see Endgame. Making me spend money, Disney. Making me spend money. Why are you doing this? So I think it's getting late over there, isn't it? Well, it's not that bad. It's like 10:40. How about I'm going to stream until 11. So that's only, let's see, about another 20 minutes? I think that's good time. I know it's getting late over in the States, and it's about noon. It's going to be, 11. It'll be time for me to go find some lunch as well. So I think that's going to be some good time. But yeah. Let me see. I think I can finish this arm. Let's see how much I can get done within 20 minutes. Come on. Concentrate. I usually don't go to see a movie unless it's like a huge release. I did go see Alita, but of course I went to see Alita, because I was a fan of the manga, and it's a manga movie, and it's James Cameron, and I was like, I have to see this thing. I have to show my support. And it was sort of also, I knew it would have, people were saying it would have trouble because it's like an anime movie, and it's just a weird thing that was coming out of nowhere, and most people wouldn't really know what it is because it kind of exists in a void, and it's like a Japanese comic that's being adapted by an American studio. So I was like, I'm gonna go support it, and I went and I saw it twice. And I should have seen it like more times, but I liked it a lot. That was good. But I think Alita was the last movie I saw in theaters, and I saw Ant-Man and the Wasp before that. So yeah, it's like I go to the movies once a year. Though I watch a few things on like Amazon Prime or Netflix. My friend sat me down like the other day and just made me watch Batman Ninja. Is it not what? Wait, is it called Batman Ninja? That anime or 3D movie where it's literally Batman and all of the Batman adjacent DC villains and heroes get transported to ancient feudal Japan, and insanity ensues. It's so much fun, and it makes no sense, and it's so great. It's so great. They turn castles into giant robots. It's so great. You should watch it. But I watched that just because my friend was like, you have to see this insanity, preferably while drunk. So I did watch that. Yeah. And I watched, I also watched Arrival a while ago. That was such a good movie. But I saw that because I had some friends that were just saying it's so good, and I'm really interested in linguistics as well. So I knew what the movie was going to be about, and I knew it would really interest me. So yeah. I also saw Arrival, and that's it. What else I saw? Wonder Woman. And that's it. I haven't seen anything else. I'm not even watching Game of Thrones right now. Even though I know what happens, but I haven't been watching Game of Thrones because I kind of gave up on the show. I'm sorry, HBO, but I have given up on the show. I appreciate that people like the show. I appreciate it for what it is, but I'm just a giant book fan, and I'm so nitpicky when I watch the show. I'm like, these tiny things don't make sense. There's tiny continuity errors, and it's just some of the characters just aren't the same without George R. R. Martin, and it gets to me because I love the books. I have essays written on theories about what happens in the books, and I really, really love these characters, and it just doesn't feel quite the same if it's, I'm just here waiting for Winds of Winter. I just want the next book to come out. That's all I want. Even though I think people have said technically the show is going to end the same way as the books, but I doubt it. Maybe roughly the resolution will be the same, but the journey there can't be the same. The journey there will be different. And the way that the show is portraying a lot of the characters is markedly different than how George R. R. Martin writes these characters. So it's pretty obvious, and it's not going to be the same way in the books. It's wildly different. There are so many plot lines that are the show dropped and that are continuing in the books, now I'm going to start talking about Ice and Fire lore. But yeah, the Fagon storyline is not in the show at all. All of the Dornish storyline is so good in the books, and it just completely pooped on the show, and that was completely wasted. I was looking forward to it so much. I really love Dorne. Dorne in the books is fantastic. So there's that. There's so much more detail about what's happening in Essos in the books. And Sansa's journey is completely different. Technically, I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, I just want those books to come out. The Graphite Grappler, hi! Hello there, welcome to the stream. I think, you're coming in sort of towards the end, but it's okay, I'm still going to be going on for a while. Also, my voice is getting a little sore because I don't tend to talk this much, and I'm not particularly great at talking for a long time. I've been streaming since 8:30, but I'm still going to be drawing for a bit. I'm just working on my coloring this cover for my comic Fiendish, and this, if you didn't see the whole thing, here it is. Yay! It's a cool comic about, basically, going into it, you're going to see Vikings fighting demons, and that's all you need to know going in. It's going to be a lot of fun, it's a lot of action, and you're going to love it. It's not out yet, though. It's probably gonna be a while before it's out, but you can always follow me to find out more. Yay! Daniel Martinez, did you see Ghost in the Shell? I did not see Ghost in the Shell. Even though I technically know what the plotline was, though I guess there isn't a way to really, parse it unless I actually saw the movie. Because, okay, here's the thing. I say I'm a big Ice and Fire fan. Another thing I'm a giant fan of is Ghost in the Shell. And not so much the manga, but I'm a big fan of the 2000s Kenji Kamiyama TV shows. And from what I've heard, the Ghost in the Shell movie was a sort of a mashup of the Hideo Kuze storyline from Second Gig, which is fantastic. I love Second Gig. Second Gig is my favorite part of the whole franchise. But they also mashed that up with the first movie, the first movie's version of the Puppet Master storyline. And I was like, how does that work? Those are completely different. Like, the story is addressing completely different concepts. So, and I heard from some of my friends, I waited for some of my friends to see it first. I asked them if it was good, and they said they didn't think it was up to par. So I figured I wouldn't really like it because I'm really nitpicky. And man, I didn't even like Ghost in the Shell Arise because they changed up her backstory. They changed up Kusanagi's backstory. It's like, why do you have to do that? Her backstory was so good in Second Gig. It made so much sense. And now you're not, like, if you're going to change her backstory, technically then what you're saying is Arise isn't even a prequel. It's a complete remake. But why do you need to remake her backstory? It was so good in Second Gig. Like, the whole thing with how she met Kuze, and yeah, I'm going to nerd out about it. But yeah, no, I didn't see Ghost in the Shell, even though I probably should, because I feel like just, I'm a fan of Ghost in the Shell, the entire franchise in general, and to be able to speak on it intelligently, I should see the Hollywood adaptation. And I like ScarJo. I'm sure she did a good job. From what I heard, she really tried to, she's a fantastic actress, and from what I heard, she really tried to do the character justice, but it was just the storyline wasn't, like, it didn't hold the philosophical weight that it did in the animated movies and in the TV show. Sadly, that's what happens way too much with anime adaptations, Oh my gosh. GOT now is basically fan fiction. I'm sorry, I wasn't going to say it that way because I always try to be nice, but yes. A lot of shows now, it just feels like fan fiction. And I can go on forever describing exactly why. But it's like the characters aren't acting like themselves, like the characterization isn't there. Besides from the continuity errors, most of the time, if I really want to like get to people and get my point across about why I don't like a show, I'm just like, here are all the continuity errors. All of these logistics don't make sense. How did this person get from this end of Westeros to the other end of Westeros within a week? It doesn't make any sense. Gilly's baby never grows up. I know that's sort of a meme to make fun of that, but it's true. The baby just never grows up, and but beyond that, there's a lot of the characters don't act consistently, and it really gets to me. It really gets to me because it's a beautiful show, and I guess compared to 99% of TV shows out there, it's fantastic. But I'm comparing it to the books, and the books are just so good. I'm sorry. You guys needed George R. R. Martin writing this. You needed George R. R. Martin handling the TV show. And without him, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. I don't know, I feel like I'm being too harsh, but I don't know, that's how I feel about it. But basically, I stopped watching, I think, when did I stop watching it? Season 4? I think I watched season 4. And no, I watched season 5, but I just forgot all about it because I thought it was forgettable. And I watched some of the last season. So, I skipped around a bit, and I still know what happens because I follow a lot of Game of Thrones channels. So even though I don't watch the show technically, I follow a lot of channels that review what happens in the show, and so I know exactly what's happening. And like, I feel like from what I hear people say happens in the show, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Please, I just want the next book to come out. Please, I just want Winds of Winter. That's all I ask for. I want my book. I don't care about Dunk and Egg. I want more Ice of Fire. And the moment you were disappointed in was when the episodes They go deep into the north, and the dragon dies, gets zombified. It is nonsense. It is. And then Gendry runs back to the wall. It's so comical. It doesn't make any sense. And it's like, so can the Night King just raise dead? Because remember when he was raising the people, he just like did a hand motion and raised all the dead. But then with the dragon, it was like they had to pull it out. And where did you get the chain from? It's like, people tell me I'm nitpicky, but I don't think I am. I feel like it's just logic. You need basic logic to work, and you can have a simple plot, but the logic still has to work. And if you know, a super complicated story with hundreds of characters, like A Song of Ice and Fire, that's going to be really complicated. And if the writers can't handle that level of complexity, then bring writers on who can, because there's a lot of detail, there's a lot of things to take into account. But it's just small things like, how did they get this chain around the dragon to pull it up? And all these, whoa, it was terrible. Yeah, Dorne was terrible as well. Man, I have no idea why the show decided to not have Princess Arianne. Oop, I was shading on the wrong layer. Smooth going, Irene. I have no idea. And why did they put Elia there? Not Elia. Oberyn's girlfriend. She's not even important, and she sucks so much in the show, I don't remember her name. She doesn't matter. But, Ilaria Sand, right? Why did George do this? You have Elia Martell and Ilaria Sand. Their names both have E's and L's. Aren't you not supposed to do that, especially for characters that are kind of related to each other? Not really, but, you know, tangentially. But anyways, and, Arianne Martell is such a good character. Why did the show drop her character? She's a fantastic character. Her whole journey about her just like growing into a ruler and going on this quest for her father and sort of discovering this giant plan that Doran had. Like in the show, Doran was just this person that was sitting, and they wasted they had such a good actor for Doran, and they wasted this talent that was just sitting there in front of them. I'm not even drawing anymore because he got me ranting about the Game of Thrones show. But they, man, he has such a good actor playing Doran, and now he just got shanked. And it's like, is that what's going to happen to him in the books? Maybe, but it'll have more weight. Like his plans might fail, but in the books, at least he's really smart. He has this grand plan to join his house with the Targaryens, and he's been like just laying out this long-term plan for like the last, like over a decade, just waiting for an opportunity, and he's been secretly supporting the Targaryen cause, and there's so many just small nuanced things, and he's not a complete failure, an idiot who doesn't take action like in the show. And Arianne is also a fascinating character, she's his heir, and it's really cool because Dorne is the only part of the kingdom where, daughters have the same inheritance rights as sons, so Arianne is the heir, not her brother. So, I don't know, I can go on about this forever, but her whole arc about learning to be a ruler and going on this quest and going to, writing to find John Connington's army, and which is still ongoing in the books. It's so interesting, and they cut all of that out in the show and went with some weird Ilaria Sand thing. And Ilaria Sand in the books is a pacifist. She doesn't want revenge, and I feel like that just makes more sense. But even if you say you change her character and you say, oh, she's in the show version of Ilaria Sand is more vindictive, she wants revenge for Oberyn, how do you just have her take over the throne of Dorne? That doesn't make sense. She's not even part of the royal family. The showrunners do realize she wasn't married to Oberyn, right? How did she just kill Doran and become the ruler? I don't even know. And the actresses that played the Sand Snakes were terrible. And the Sand Snakes in the books are so cool. They have so much personality. They're so badass. They feel like iconic, like just, you know, they feel like iconic video game characters. That's how cool the Sand Snakes are in the books. But in the show, they're just like, I don't know, badly acted. They spout bad one-liners, and they can't really fight that well. I'm getting a headache thinking about this. The show is a pale imitation of the source material. It started out good, though. I liked the first 2 seasons. First season was the best because it was pretty much exactly the same as the books. It's a pity. It's a pity. And it's not that I don't appreciate what the cast and crew have done. They have still created something amazing, but it's just I'm comparing it to something that is almost impossible to measure up to. So I feel like the mistake from the beginning was not having the books done and not having George R. R. Martin on working on the TV show for the entire project, for the entire duration of the project. So maybe if they had done that, it would have been more successful and better done, more well done. But you know, what are you gonna do about it? Who cares what a nobody like me thinks? No matter what nobody like me thinks. I'm just an artist in the middle of nowhere, complaining about a $1 million show. How much does it cost to film an episode? It's like $8 million or something. It's some insane amount of money. No, it's not only $8 million. It costs so much to film for, I don't have the numbers. I'm having a brain fart right now. But for the final season that's airing now, each episode costs like an absurd amount of money to film. And it's staggering. Well, the dragons look good. I guess that's where all the money went. Unseen Monument, hello! Hi, welcome to the stream. I was thinking I was going to hop off soon, but now I don't feel like it. You know what? I'm going to go for another like 20 minutes. Because now I'm all riled up because like you guys got me complaining about Game of Thrones. So yeah, I want to like yammer some more now. Let's see, I'll go for like another 20 minutes maybe. And then I'll go eat lunch. Or not, I don't know. Oh, I'm going to go get that matcha cake that I was saying. I keep my promises, everyone. I keep my promises. That matcha cake's going to happen. Watch my Twitter feed later. I'm going to post that glorious, glorious matcha cake. It's going to be the most amazing thing you've ever seen. Oh, yeah, Danielle, the timing of the episode where the dragon died made no sense. No. Here's what you don't understand. In the show version, unlike the Song of Ice and Fire books, the Game of Thrones show has a teleporter. Didn't you know? Littlefinger had a teleporter, and Dany also has a teleporter. They just don't show it on screen, but you know it's implied. This is actually a genius act of storytelling. It's so subtle that you don't even realize it's there until things don't make sense, and then anyways, yeah. People teleport, apparently. Apparently, traveling from one end of a continent that is pretty much as, like, what is the distance? It's basically Westeros from, like, the Wall to Dorne is, like, Canada and the US stacked on top of each other. Like, I remember the map, I did like a rough estimate. It's huge. It's a big continent. And say, where was Dany? It was Highgarden? Was she in Highgarden? Doesn't matter. Anyway, she's traveling pretty much, you know, across the continent. And it's just, oh, they got a message to her. And then she had to fly north with the dragons. And she did it all in time before they froze to death. And they were just sitting in a lake waiting. And it just made no sense. I'm getting a headache. Why did you do this? Why did you ruin this show? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to calm down. Hi, Karan. Oh, yeah, I know you're Karan. I remember your screen name. So, hello. I know it's kind of late, but thanks for joining. Where are you, by the way? Aren't you in New York? This would be like almost, what time? Oh, it's like 11 over there, isn't it? Yeah, I might hop off soon because my voice is like dying, but no, I'll go for another 20 minutes or so. Just because I'm on a roll and I'm screaming about the Game of Thrones show. Oh my word. Though, on the other hand, I saw the new opening, and then there's all these like small details that they put into the show that are good, right? One thing I've noticed is, well, the show does a good job. They do a lot of callbacks within their own show with like the cinematography. So for example, I saw I say I don't watch the show, but I follow a ton of people who do. So I've seen the like Arya and Jon. Well, am I spoiling anything, everybody? I guess this is not a big spoil. They reunite, and the shot where they hug it mirrors the shot where in like season 1, and that's really sweet. So there's small things that are done well. It's not like everything sucks. It's just they're trying to adapt this source material that's absolutely insanely advanced, and it's really hard. So you need a lot of skill to do that. But I've also seen a new opening. And the new opening was really cool, like the whole opening with the astrolabe and how they changed up all they have the White Walkers in there now and everything, and that, I mean, the people that do the opening are geniuses. It's probably the best TV show opening in the history of all time. So there are things that are done well, but there's also a lot that is not. Oh yeah, Stannis is still alive in the books. I mean, he might die later on, but it'll be a better death. And like, where is he in the books? He's planning for the ice battle. He's still trapped on the lake. And like this whole theory about how it's been a while since I read that chapter, but they're on a lake with an army, and they've been like drilling. They're just like snowed in. They're in the north, and it's really, really cold. It's a really cold winter, and the army has been drilling holes in this ice for water and stuff, but they might use that ice over lake to their advantage, like a tactical calculation, but it might fail. So that's how Stannis might lose that battle. But the thing is, he's not going to be an idiot like in the show. Like in the show, Stannis at the end, he's supposed to be very tactically minded. He's supposed to be a smart man. And in the show, he went out like a complete idiot. He's just like, I'm completely overwhelmed. Oh, I guess I'm still just going to do a head-on charge against my enemy. And yeah, I went out like a tough guy. No, you didn't even plan for anything. This character is supposed to be smarter than this, and it's just. Oh my God, kill me. Yeah, what was the preview chapters for Stannis? Where do you see the preview for Stannis in the books? Was it the Yara chapters? Oh yeah, Yara is his prisoner in the books. So, yeah, that was a really cool chapter where. She's still his prisoner. Well, anyways. I can't wait for this book to come out. I mean, I know they say it might be this year, but every year they say it might be coming out that year. And you just never know. Never know. Yeah, I gave up on the show a long time ago. Let's see, what do I like in the show more than the books? I think, you know what? I think Cersei she's more sympathetic in the show, which is very interesting. God, she's so hateable in the books. The show made her a lot more sympathetic, though that's largely the actress. I think the actress that plays Cersei is fantastic. She does such a good job. And somehow she made this horrible, horrible character sympathetic. A lot of characters are more sympathetic, though. Tyrion is more sympathetic in the show. And of course, Peter Dinklage is amazing. Tyrion is an abjectly terrible person in the books. I mean, you still admire him for being smart and for what, you know, he has admirable qualities, but he's also a much more terrible person. He's pretty violent. He does a lot more terrible things. Yeah, the thing with, well, George R. R. Martin he tends to overwrite, and then he has to trim things and edit things. So I understand, you know, the writing process is complicated, and he probably gets a little carried away, just writing more and more characters and more chapters, and he tends to be, he's a gardening style writer, and as much as I do want to read more, I don't know, I'd rather him write more books, but at least release what he has now, right? Unless he hasn't sorted out consistency for all the chapters that he has so far. I'd rather there be like 9 or 10 books. I don't really care. But it's kind of torture waiting for what happens next in the story for so long. I mean, even like 3-4 years I'm fine with. It's been longer than that. It takes like 6-7 years for each book to come out. I don't know, and I feel bad saying this. I don't want to really put pressure on him, because I know the creative process it can't really, you know, sometimes it can't really be controlled. And I want him to be able to just sit down and not be, I know he's being hounded by his fans every day. I want him to just be able to sit down and concentrate and write well, right? But at the same time, in my own selfish immature side just really wants to know what happens next. Can't help it. I think, did I read Euron's chapter? I mean, Euron is always awesome in the books. He's so insane. He's so crazy in the books. I mean, in the show, he's just, I don't know, he's kind of a cocky pretty boy. But in the books, he's just evil. Oh my gosh. Completely different. But he's insane and evil. He thinks, his whole thing is, what is that sound? Oh my gosh, sorry if you hear that noise in the background. I think it's like a grass cutter or something. But yeah, Euron in the books is like, he thinks he's a god, basically. He's thoroughly evil. He does the most evil things, and he thinks he's basically a god. And it's amazing reading his chapters. Yeah, I was a little disappointed. I mean, I like the Euron actor. I think he did a good job for the character that the showrunners gave him in the show. But still, I kind of wish they stuck with the essence of Euron's character from the books. Of course. Alright, I am just noodling on this now. I think they're either cutting grass or doing some, what do you call it? Vermin control or pest control thing outside. So that's making a lot of noise. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's I can hear really loudly, so you guys probably can. It's probably ruining the stream. So I think I'm gonna wrap up here. I think that was a pretty long stream, and I don't want this thing to be 5 hours long. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I'm really glad I finally actually got to do a stream on YouTube. I'll try to do more of these. I'll find a way, I swear. That is so loud. I'll find a way, I swear, to get figure out how to do a group call and have a group call with all the people who are the higher tier supporters on my Patreon, and just hop on sometime and talk about comics, talk about pop culture, and just have a nice chat, you know. And so yeah, I would like to do more streams on YouTube, and follow me on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook and YouTube, of course, at Renidraws, RENIEDRAWS, and I will post more updates on Fiendish and on more art streams on all of those platforms. So yeah, thanks for joining me today. Good night, guys. How do I close this? Ooh, okay, there we go.